Bienvenidos a todos. Welcome everyone. I am the Seamster. And what are we doing today? Today we are going to make memory pillows. Yeah, memory pillows. Listen, I know this ain't about food trucks, but listen to me. This is very important for those of you people that know someone that was special to you or very special to someone else that has passed away, died. These memory pillows are the perfect gift for anyone that's been through them type of situations where they're still grieving over that person and still want some type of memory of them. And that's why they call them the memory pillow. That's right. You take a shirt, a button-up shirt, jacket, or t-shirt, something that was that they wore at one time, and you take a pillow that is already sewn, and you put it inside of that shirt that you sew up all the way around. These things are very simple to make. They're easy to understand when it comes to sewing them. I'm going to do it both in a regular handheld sewing machine, and I'm going to do it with a regular sewing machine. But these pillows are the best thing to give to somebody when they are still grieving or they're still feeling lonely or they miss that person very much. And as we all know, we all go through this type of experience when someone has passed away and you still care for that person. You still want some type of memory because you just don't want to forget that person, or you know someone who is really feeling lonely because they really love that person and they still want to remember that person, and they can keep these pillows on their couch, on their recliner, or even on their bed. And when they're feeling lonely, well then, hey, come on. I know it's a touchy moment, but listen, these things are really important, and they do help people that are going through bad times of someone that has passed away and died. All right, everybody, so come on, let's do this. Let me explain exactly what I'm doing. So you take a shirt, all right, like this one right here, a button-up, preferably, or just a regular t-shirt, it doesn't matter, okay? And what I did is I ironed them out. So you have to iron them to make them nice and flat. And if it's a button-up, go ahead and button it up. If it's a zip-up jacket, zip that jacket all the way up. Now, you have to know the measurements of your pillow. Now, these pillows right here, you can get these on Walmart.com. Okay, Walmart.com, and they come in a package of 4, and you can get these pillows. They're 18 by 18 or 16 by 16, and they run about $15 to $16 for 4 of them. They come in a box, and they'll send them to you like really quick at Walmart.com. Okay, that's where you're gonna get these pillows, these insert pillows, and they got a little zipper on the side of them right here, and they're filled with polyfill. Now, that is our measurements, 18 by 18 for the pillow. So we are going to make the shirt 17 by 17. Okay, so because we want this to be nice and snug, okay? We want it to be nice and tight. If you make it 18 by 18, it's going to feel a little bit loose, and so you want it to be a little bit snug and where it puffs out a little bit. So I'm going to cut this out at 17 by 17. Then when I actually sew it all up, it'll be around 16 and a half by 16 and a half, and then allowing for that neckline. So let's go ahead. I'm going to zoom in on here so you can see what and how I do this. So get it ironed first and get it nice and flat, and then go ahead and get the creases out and lay this out. Cut yourself out a pattern. Use some cardboard, okay, and use this as a pattern so we know what the pillow is. So once you set this on here, just square it up. The sewing machine that I'm using is a Brother Serger sewing machine. And what this does is, that, as you can see, it put 4 threads into this material, which is really going to make it strong. But what makes this machine unique is that it has a cutter on here, so it cuts it straight, or whatever you want to do, any type of designs. But I don't really need the cutter because I know it's pretty much straight, so I'm just going to go ahead and sew this up. Just making sure that our end points are right on the money. Good. And you just simply let that run through, and then take your scissors, cut that off, leaving yourself a little tail. And now what I'm going to do is just cross over that. Okay, everything looks good. So now I'm going to do is just go ahead and turn this inside out. I can go ahead and leave them ends on there. That's not no big deal, because it's not like I'm going to be wearing this. Okay, push the corners out. Now let's take it over to the table and put the pillow inside. Alright, so now with the handheld sewing machine, I'm going to sew this memory pillow cover. So what I always stress is you always want to have some type of practice piece to make sure that your handheld sewing machine is going to work with this fabric. Remember guys, I know I get a lot of comments all the time of my sewing machine isn't sewing, something's wrong, it's not tight enough, blah blah blah. Listen, it could be the needle. This needle is a all-in-one needle, okay, meaning that it does just about everything except for fine fabrics. Because this needle is so thick, it's just punching its way through, okay? So it's probably going to work okay with this material, but we got to find out, right? So let's go ahead, make sure safety button's on because I don't want my fingers to get sewn in here. And I'm going to go ahead and put that underneath the needle, okay? And put that there. Power switch is ready. I'm just going to go ahead and lay this flat right here, okay? So I can somehow just kind of pull it through and guide it. Okay, we want to get it started. You don't have to go fast with this handheld, okay? There's no like where it's going to mess up or anything more just because you stop. It's either going to sew it or it's not going to sew it. Okay, as you can see, it did not do the loop stitch, chain stitch afterwards. Okay, it just gave a single thread. It's okay because it kind of like doubled up the material there, and that can happen, but I just want to take a look right here on the opposite side to make sure that it did sew okay with our chain stitch, and it did. I'm going to put that a little bit closer so that maybe you can see there is a nice chain stitch all the way along this edge right here, and that's exactly what I wanted to see regardless of the end, okay, because I'm just going to sew over that again when I go the opposite direction. So let's go ahead, let's give it a try and turn this inside out just like we did with the regular serger sewing machine. I can't say regular sewing machine because a lot of people don't have sergers. Wonder clips, okay? These wonder clips right here, and they go on the edges all the way around. It just kind of just holds the material in place while you're sewing, and as you get close to it, well then you just pull that off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this corner and I'm going to work my way around, okay? But I'm going to go slow. Remember, it's not about speed when it comes to the handheld sewing machine. As a lot of you people already know that work with this, it can be very temperamental. Okay, so I got that up, and power switch again, safety first, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that underneath my needle, okay? And that power switch there, as you can see, I'm just going to work my way slowly, just looking at my stitches. It's a thick spot right there. It's okay, it looks like it did okay. Another thick spot because that's where the shoulder is kind of doubled up there, and I'm just going to turn it over and look at my stitches, and everything seems to be looking okay so far. Now I'm going to pull this first clip off, okay? I got a nice chain stitch afterwards, and then simply all I'm going to do is just cut that off, and I have about an inch left over on the edge there, and I'm going to turn it over and look at my chain stitch all the way down, and it seemed to do pretty good, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead now and I'm going to finish this up. As you can see, it is working, so I'm just going to finish this up with this machine and go all the way down and around. We made it to the end. As you guys seen, when it gets to this area here where the buttons are, you have to tuck that underneath that lip there, and then simply just go ahead and sew over it, okay? So I'm looking at my stitches all the way around, and everything looks good. It's a nice chain stitch. So again, all we're going to do is just take this and turn it inside out. So I'm going to go ahead and open this button up. Grab ourselves a brand new pillow that we got from Walmart.com. Okay, and we're going to take it, fold it in half. As you can see, guys, it is the perfect gift for somebody that is grieving for someone that they love. It really is. And there's that right there. Look at that. Okay, so I cut myself out some extra fabric, and all I'm going to do is simply just tuck this on the inside, just like that. Wow, looks great, guys. Handheld sewing machine. There it is right there, no problem. And if you have the right equipment, HTV press, heat press, you can always add in a special saying on your memory pillows for that special person. This is a shirt I used to wear. Whenever you hold it, know that I am near. Love, Dad. And bam! Just like that, everybody. That's how you sew a memory pillow. That's right. For someone that is grieving, for someone that has passed away, these are very special gifts that you can make for someone or even make for yourself. Let's face it, you give this gift to somebody and they're never going to throw it away. Why? Because someone took the time to care about them for someone that they once cared for. Okay, so just a quick one here. I know I showed you how to put this fabric here on the inside, but look at, you can interchange different color fabrics, okay, just by taking something a different color and just putting it on the inside just like that. Look, no problem. I mean, it looks great, and you can interchange them out every day if you want to, or that special person you give this gift to can change them out every day. I know, guys, that sounds like pretty sorry, okay, that I'm talking like this, but really it's not. Think about it. If someone really loved that person and they are still thinking about that person every single day, this may be the one thing that gives them enough, I guess, power or energy or something to strive on to keep going, okay? So if you're using the handheld sewing machine, like I did, I showed you guys how to do this. I would simply start on one corner, work your way to the one corner. Don't stitch all the way through like I did with the chain stitch. Keep following it through. Turn it and then go to the other corner, turn it and go to the other corner, and then follow it out. And then when you get to the end, get that chain stitch, simply just tie that off. Now, if you are going to be doing this, you know, this may get some use. I would go over it twice. What's the big deal, right? Just stitch the opposite direction, turn it over, and where you tied that one end off, start on that end and work your way around. That way the stitch is going in the opposite direction. Just take your time. You don't have to go fast with the handheld sewing machine. Just a little bit at a time. Turn it over. Look at your stitches. Make sure everything's fine. If it's not, simply cut that off, move it back, and start stitching again. Once you turn that inside out, you are not going to see any of that imperfections of, you know, the stitches, chain stitches going beyond and you tying it off. So, the handheld sewing machine, guys. I hope you actually got something out of this, how to use the serger sewing machine. If you plan on getting some type of fabric or sewing clothing in the future, it's very important to have one of them. Or you could do this easily with a straight stitch sewing machine. But the handheld sewing machine, guys, come on, $13. You can have this thing inside your drawer. Follow the instructions I have on my other videos on how to use a handheld sewing machine. With that, everybody, remember, the only excuse you can make is the one you actually say. Get out there, everybody, and do something positive for somebody else. Peace out. Let's do this and cue the music.